This is part 2 of understanding near-death experiences, in which people have gone to the other side and had some unfortunate situations. But make sure you see part 1, heavenly bliss, first, so you can have a better understanding. But with that being said, enjoy the class.
Let's go to Ecclesiastes. Because people will say heaven is real, it's so much realer than earth. It felt so good, and they heard music. They was reunited with other loved ones, things like that. They said they was going through all that because they having a dialogue with the Most High. The Most High is showing them visions before he gives them that rest. So that's that dialogue with the Most High. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 12 and 14. To show you, so while they before they're about to be put on to that rest, and they having that dialogue with the Most High, and the Most High is talking to them like it told you in Revelations, he's also showing them this. And the people in the near-death experience, they say they see this. Ecclesiastes 12 and 14.
Ecclesiastes 12 verse 14. For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
Yeah, every single work shall be brought into judgment, every secret thing. So that's why people, when they have that near-death experience, they say they see everything they did, like they're watching a big movie. But at the same time, it's like they feel the presence of Christ or the Most High with them and guiding them, telling them, you shouldn't have did this, you shouldn't have did this. It's like they're going through like this learning stage while they're there, before they're brought back to life or reunited. So it's like they're saying, oh, you're seeing this, and the people, they're saying that this is such a good place. They see, and not every single person's near-death experience is the same. You have different ones based off of how the Most High wants to deal with them. That's why I said you have to have a personal relationship with the Most High. You have one person, he says he sees these large gates, and the Most High is bringing them and showing them this. Another person is there in the forest, and it says the music is there. They have 360 view. Everything is so beautiful and peaceful. Then they say they bump into the Most High there, and they have to have that talk. Another person says that he goes into like this temple where there's lights and sound, but there's the Most High. There's Christ. He's there. It says each one of the righteous who having this little dream area, this little area, having this dialogue with the Most High. So the Most High, he's starting this little vision after you be put to rest before the resurrection. So that's why they feel these ways in this near-death experience, because they're in that dream that the Most High wants to make them comfortable so they can prepare for their resurrection. But just like you have good dreams, you also have nightmares.
I'll tell you how I was delivered from the gates of hell.
Allahu Akbar Islam. That's what I used to wear this and show it off proudly.
We helped pioneer 3 churches.
Drifted into agnosticism and then full-blown militant atheism.
All I knew was Hinduism from my childhood.
I was outside of hell. What was I doing there? I'm a Christian. I'm a believer.
Jesus Christ was in front of me. Yes, he was. He was in front of me, and this is the truth, and God knows I'm telling the truth. He could strike me down this second. I'm telling the truth.
I saw the Lord Almighty, Lord Jesus Christ. I knew he was the Almighty. Nobody needed to introduce him to me.
I knew his name was Jesus Christ. And people asked me, what did Jesus look like? Well, I didn't see his face. He had a hood over his face. I knew if he would have pulled back his hood, it would not be good. It would be a judgment.
He has his head down and he has a hood on. And Jesus, he doesn't even want to look at me.
Every sin that I committed was flashed before my eyes. I was begging for his mercy. I was looking at his feet and I was shaking.
And it was terrifying. In fact, I think that standing before the Lord is more terrifying than hell, because you're totally uncovered. You're totally undone.
Your faith is dead. Your works are in vain. The life that you lived and offered to me as a life of Christian service is an abomination that I rejected in the Pharisee. What made you think I would accept it from a Laodicean type Christian?
You serve the devil. Satan is your father, and you're going to be with him. And the Lord turned his back. He was done with me. He was done.
This deafening voice screamed, "He's mine. He's mine." He held me by the chains and he literally shook me, and down we went.
And I'm feeling this fear, but the speed of the fallingness, I can't even explain it in words.
The wind from falling, it was taking my breath away. I couldn't even breathe. So I screamed, "Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah," and I kept on screaming that, "Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar." I kept on screaming it faster, more and more because I was so desperate. I had to get out of the situation. And right away my soul told me, it's not true. You're going to hell for eternity. It's not true.
And I was falling. I felt so fearful.
It's not fear, it's terror, and it's alive.
Terror like you would never believe.
It was so black you couldn't see your hand in front of your face.
You can't even see your hand in front of your face.
I put my hand in front of my face, I can see nothing. I'm wiping my eye, I can't see nothing.
This darkness is not a darkness like here on earth.
This black abyss wasn't just like black like my black t-shirt. Imagine this black enhanced by 1,000,000.
All the stuff that we take for granted here that we don't realize that come from God, they're stripped from you as you fall into this place.
As I was going down, my soul was saying goodbye to everything. Everything.
Now the first thing that hit me was this smell.
There was an odor that came out of that pit, a sense of decay, a sense of all things bad.
No dead bodies, no dead animals, rotting flesh. There's nothing that can compare to this smell. Okay?
And these toxic, sulfurous fumes, I mean, just this putrid stench of rotting flesh, feces, sulfur.
If this smell was on the earth, we would die. And I can hear the sound of this tunnel.
And then I'm looking down and I see another portal, it's like another portal, and I knew like that was the end of it right there.
And I'm seeing this portal, and it's open. As it opened now, I'm pretty much right there, and I can see every detail. Now remember, your senses are heightened. You can see a molecule if you wanted to.
I'm trying to prepare myself for what's waiting, but now I can prepare you.
Then I heard a sound.
Let's go to Psalms 73:18 to see what happens when wicked people die. They go to the same place. But remember, they're not close to the Most High. So they're put in a other area where they dream. So this is why people have these visions where they say the visions of hell. Remember, people aren't really like burning in hell now. When it talks about the lake of fire and burning in hell and you being cast away into like what is gnashing of teeth, when it says that in the scriptures, that's talking about at the end of time. That's talking about after the earth is destroyed, after the day of judgment. Everybody have to go through a day of judgment. Everybody together. That's after that. Then the lake of fire is now happens. So when people are hearing that nightmare, they're caught in the nightmare. That's what they are. And many of them the nightmares are similar. But let's read Psalm 73:18.
Psalm 73, verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
Surely thou didst set them in slippery places.
Mm-hmm.
Thou castest them down into destruction.
They're down into destruction. So after they're dying, they're going into this place of destruction, this place of torment. So this is this dream. So remember, their body's already decayed already, and their conscious is going to some area of destruction where everything's feel tormented. That's why you have so many of the near-death experience of the wicked people, would say like they were in this place, they saw these most evilest, hideous beings, these demons, and they was torturing and they was screaming, things like this, and screaming, and it was putrid, and it was like you saw fire all around, people just burning here and burning there, and then they said they saw celebrities down there, things like these were the things that they had to witness as a result of separation with the Most High.
I heard a sound that you don't want to hear. I heard people screaming in a lake of fire.
I began hearing the screams of millions and millions and millions of people.
They were screaming these. So you wouldn't make that sound if you were being skinned alive or burned to steak. It was horrifying.
The scream was so loud that in life I will blow the roof off my house.
I screamed so loud.
Some of them were angry and cursing God. Some of them were screaming of fear and torment. And all the time you knew that they were stuck.
You had a lot of people asking for 5 more minutes, 1 more chance. Please, I'm sorry.
Let me out. I want to do right. I want to do right this time. I promise to do right.
The first thing I saw before me were the pits. And they were like, flames were coming up. And then you can see when these flames come up, that's how you can see.
It was like a lake of fire, but it was like a big pit.
Before I describe the people in the pits, were these beasts around all the pits. They had these spears and these ancient things, and people were trying to crawl out. They were sticking them, grabbing them, especially the big giant, grabbing them and throwing them right back into the pit.
Some sections, the walls of hell, are prisons.
There's cells in there, just like in prison.
And there were rows and rows of cells, like the old cells.
Rectangle prison, stretching as far as the eye could see. A medieval look.
I was on a cliff, okay, and it was people on the right side, people on the left side. But when I looked, it was a desolate forest. And there was a path in the forest. But these trees, it wasn't a regular forest. These trees were dead. These trees were, it was just like a dead forest. And it was black sands, black and gray sands, okay?
There's trees, dead trees. The ground, the sand was like gray, dirty gray.
That's exactly all you see. It is this life void of life.
There was a long line of people in these chains.
I had these chains on me. Chain with the ball on the end.
And they were walking on this path, but each on the side of them like guards, almost like prison guards. But they were demons, and they were marching them towards the gates.
All their skin was ashen whitish, but I could still tell African American, Chinese.
The color of their flesh was like a smoky gray darkness. It wasn't, you can't tell what race they were only by their features, but they were from all over. Then all of them started looking and screaming, "Don't come here! Don't come!"
It was so terrifying. I was screaming, "Jesus!"
I said, my next step is I'm about to be down there in that chain gang heading on that path.
How are they brought into desolation? As in a moment, they are utterly consumed with terrors.
So, you're utterly consumed with terrors. So, when you're there, you're like having all these terrors. For the wicked, that's all you're going to be. Just terror, terror, terror. And that you're stuck in that nightmare until the resurrection. Like, it tells you, you're falling. Like, you have certain, like, each one's, not all, everyone's are the same. Like, there was one person that says that he was falling, just kept falling and falling. More he fell, he felt fire here, fire there. And they're going down this vortex. Then it says that they saw the gates of hell in extreme heat, saw so many screaming and tortures. He saw skulls everywhere. He saw these beings that looked the most hideous monsters that you can see. They were chasing and scratching at him. It was uncontrolled fear. He couldn't hardly speak. It says it was a putrid smell. It says, and there was fear and sadness. People was begging to come home, and screams for everywhere. Other damn souls, things like in torture. Yeah, that's how I was in some of these near-death experiences. Why? Because they're caught in that nightmare. They're, like it says, brought to desolations. They're consumed with terrors. That's what happens when you die in your sins without Christ. Keep going.
As a dream when one awaketh, so, O Lord, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image.
Exactly. So it's like as a dream. This is happening in a dream to them as one awaketh. So that's what happens. So after they sleep in the earth, the wicked ones, they awaken. So, but let's understand that about this judgment thing. So this is the order. After you die, your body goes into the decaying on earth, and your spirit goes to the righteous. Your spirit goes have a dialogue with the Most High, and the Most High sends you into this dream where you're comfortable, everything is okay, as you prepare to have your resurrection. You're in this place, it's called paradise, located under the altar of the Most High, and it's in this place where you're just there, and it's like you have this love. It's like you have this unconditional love there, that somebody have their arms around you, just this love. And yes, you're technically in heaven. It's in heaven, but you're not in the kingdom of heaven. You're just in a place where it says, like in Revelation 6, a place to rest until your resurrection. And he's making sure you get in the best rest possible. You're in the best dream possible all those years. Now, as for the wicked, they're separated from the Most High, and after they die, their bodies go into the nightmare because they've done so much wicked things, and you only know bits and pieces about them. So they're consumed with terrors and things like that, and they're just into this place of darkness. And in Second Ezra, I know that the Uriel, the angel, didn't like to talk about that much. He said, "Don't worry about what the Most High is doing with them. He's doing something with them personally, with them." So he says, concentrate more not on how the wicked will be punished, but how the righteous will be saved. So we know a lot about what happens, about how the righteous is going to be saved, the good things of righteousness. But we just know when that separation from the Most High, that the Most High, he's doing that to him for a reason. In my opinion, the main reason that he's doing it, to let them know, have to teach their spirits. This is what happens when you separate from the Most High.
Your hearing, your seeing, your perception, all of that is magnified in that place.
You have a keen sense of touch, taste, sight, smell, feel.
My senses were so heightened.
When you pass away, you don't lose your five senses. No, they heightened. They get more potent. They raise times 1,000,000.
Everything is enhanced 1,000,000 times. Like, you know everything instantly. You feel everything instantly. You hear everything instantly.
It is not limited at all. No limitations. So multiple things happen at the exact same time. And in those realms, it's just the norm. It just makes sense. But then you come back here and now it doesn't make sense again.
There's no sleep, there's no rest, there's no food, there's no water.
So thirsty, it's like you haven't drank anything in years. You feel so hungry. You feel so tired.
For 1 month, not even 1 second of sleep. And for that month, no food. And for that month, no water. That's how I felt in hell.
The thing is when I was down there, my soul felt so much more sensitive.
If you get hit in the hand, you feel it through your whole body simultaneously at the same time.
It's just unbelievable how sensitive you are there.
But there's no air down there. Just have to tell you that. There's no air.
When I was trying to breathe, it was...
So I'm screaming, but at the exact same time I'm screaming, I'm suffocating. And I can only describe it like if you had been forced into a vacuum chamber and all the air's gone and you're suffocating and you have that panic, right? I can't breathe, and you're panicking, but you don't die. You're perpetually stuck in that state of panic. I'm gonna die, but you don't die. While all that's happening, someone releases toxic fumes into that gas chamber. And your lungs take in the fumes out of desperation.
Every breath it feels like you're suffocating, and your teeth are grinding constantly.
I like how your teeth were just gnashing. I said, I wish I would have listened.
So when they had their resurrection and they get brought, be resurrected after the 1,000 years, after 1,000 years, where the righteous is resurrected, then the wicked get resurrected. But automatically, when they get resurrected, they have that fear of that dream. And it's my opinion now. So after having that, being woken up from that nightmare of being tortured in the fires of hell and demons around there, they don't want to go back there, and they see Christ and his saints there. So automatically, it's so they can worship Christ and say they can at least make it, have at least some opportunity to make it, because everybody gets another chance, whether you're in a good dream or in the nightmare. You get that second chance. We only know about little bits and pieces about what goes on in a nightmare. So here's a good example of the bits and pieces of, is the nightmare of Lazarus and the rich man. Let's go to Luke, the 16th chapter. Luke, the 16th chapter, to see that. And there's also a little comparison that brothers in the past had made with Jacob and Esau, but those are comparisons. But if we really dive into it, this is what happens when Lazarus is caught in the nightmare. When the rich man is caught in the nightmare. This is it's a lesson so he can teach. This is a lesson that he can teach, like he's ruler of the afterlife. So let's go to Luke 16, and we can start at verse. Hold up 1 minute. Luke 16. Verse 19. See what's going on.
Luke 16, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
There was a certain rich man, which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day.
So he's fed sumptuously every single day. Keep going.
And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked the sores.
So in other words, let's think about this. This guy right here, Lazarus, he was a beggar, and he was also had sores. So he was a beggar who had skin conditions and things like that. And the dogs didn't even have pity on him. And the rich man didn't have pity. And the rich man had to say some disrespectful things to him, because just for him to just be fed with crumbs. So this was something where the Most High was angry with this rich man with what he did. Because if he's a rich man, the best thing he can do is like help the guy up, give him at least some type of lotion or some ointment for his sores, and give him a plate of food instead of being fed with crumbs and just lay there, or at least a place to like stay or something. He's a rich man. Keep going.
And it came to pass that the beggar died, and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried.
So right here it says the beggar died, so he went to sleep. He had to sleep, and it says carried by the angels. So the angels, like when it says carried by the angels, mean that's where his spirit flew away. So, and it says into Abraham's bosom. So where it says Abraham's bosom, that's another word for saying sleep with his fathers, because Abraham, he was descendants of Abraham. And as we know, the word bosom has many different words connected to it. Like bosom here is another word for saying like close to Abraham. So in other words, it's saying like he's close to his fathers. So he's about to have a dialogue with the Most High, and the Most High is putting him to rest for the resurrection. And there, he's with Abraham and the other fathers. So that's his good dream that he's able to dream. Keep going. Verse 22.
And in hell, verse 23. And in hell, he lifted up his eyes.
So this is the rich man after he died. See, since he was separated from the Most High, and once he did that, so he had to experience the nightmare that we read in Psalms. At the same time, he was going to go through a learning stage. So as you know, you heard different people have their near experiences of their torments or their hell that they go through after they die. Many of them are different.
And all of a sudden my body set on fire, my soul set on fire.
And this fire going through me constantly.
So I'm just standing there, okay? And then suddenly these flames just rose from the ground up.
And then I heard the flames roaring on that lake. I've been in a brush fire in California where 100-foot flames leaped up in the air. But this flames on the lake of fire exceeded that.
It was a torrent of flames. Your body's completely just being burned and roasted alive. And so I remember I looked down at my left arm because of the pain. It was just my entire being. It wasn't just the burning from the outside to the inside. It was the whole thing at once. And I looked down at my arms and I could not believe what I was seeing. It was burning and sizzling, and then chunks of it would just fall off and hit the floor.
Their flesh burns. They burn, they burn, they burn, and the flesh falls. And your bones get nice and toasty and black and gray. And when it's done, then the flame, your skin, your flesh starts growing back on you. And then the flames start again.
Some of them were like charred skeletons, charred, burned up skeletons. Some of them had flesh hanging off of them.
Some of them are the ones that are the same are the ones where they see in demon and fires and things like that. There are certain people who had near-death experience. They weren't in fires and they were just in total darkness and demons around. There was people who were just burning in fires. It depends on how the Most High wants you to experience that nightmare. So right here, let's see what the rich man's nightmare was. Luke 16:23. Read it.
And in hell, he lifted up his eyes, being in torments.
So he's in torments. So like we read before, probably have demons all around yelling and screaming, fires all around, but there's a certain part of his body that's being tormented the most. Keep going.
And seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom.
So just like certain people who had near-death experience, they said they could see people at the top, they could see a bright light at the top, they could see things, and there's certain ones who say they can't see nothing, it's pitch black. So the Most High is allowing him to see Lazarus, the vision where Lazarus is with Abraham in Abraham's bosom. So he can like see through this dream that Lazarus has, this little connection. And keep going.
And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue.
All right, so now he's now saying this. He says, send Lazarus so he can dip the tip of his tongue in water. So he didn't say his body. That's one thing. So we have to remember his tongue. So he's being tormented right here, and he says, cool my tongue. So, but keep going.
For I am tormented in this flame.
So he says, cool his tongue while I'm tormented in his flame. So right here, he didn't say cool his body. His body is not the torture that was going on, what those demons are doing to him. It's his tongue that's being attacked there. So the Most High is allowing his tongue to go through a torture. So hold this and let's go to Matthew 12:37 to see why his tongue is being tortured. Yeah, because remember, he's replaying this nightmare, and the main part of this torture that he's feeling is his tongue. So Matthew 12:37. Now remember, we still hold in Luke. Matthew 12:37.
Matthew 12, verse 37. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned.
So it says, by thy words you shall be justified, and by thy words you shall be condemned. So now, and why does he say so? He's being condemned now by his tongue. His tongue is actually like being attacked, because like I say, he probably says some crazy things to Lazarus. So let's go back to Luke 16 and 24 and read that again.
Luke 16:24. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame.
All right.
But Abraham said,
keep going.
But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented.
It says now you are tormented now. So yes, he's in the torments. So he's in what they will call hell, but not the hell that many people think of. This is just a nightmare that the Most High is doing as a learning significance about what happens when you're separated from the Most High, because everybody gets a second chance. It's just that when you sleep, you dream you're having a nightmare. Keep going.
And beside all this, between us and you there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from thence.
So in other words, there's something that's blocking the dam from the righteous. He was able to actually say something to them, but he has to go through this torment. So when he makes that resurrection, he understands what he has done. So let's go to, and there's a reason why Lazarus didn't say nothing. Lazarus is in a whole different world of his own. Let's go to Job 3:17. Because the rich man, he was the main one that was oppressing Lazarus, and he was saying a lot of disrespectful things. His tongue is being tormented. But there's a reason why Lazarus doesn't say nothing, because there's part of the order, the spiritual realm. Part of the order, according to Job, here is here. If you was a person tormenting another person, you really can't. That person isn't really. He doesn't hear your voice. It's something like that. Because let's read Job 3:17.
Job 3 verse 17. There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest.
Yes, this is talking about the ones of the righteous that die. They're now caught in a place of paradise where the wicked cease from troubling. Keep going.
There the prisoners rest together.
Yeah, they rest. You're at the place of rest. And when you rest, you also dream. Keep going.
They hear not the voice of the oppressor.
That's why Lazarus did not hear the rich man. And the rich man understood that. That's why he said to tell Abraham that. Because Lazarus, it says that don't hear the voice of the oppressor. So that's certain things in the spirit world. These are like little laws in the spirit world. But now, so we always have to know that this is known as the first judgment, where it says after we die, then the judgment. This is known as that first judgment, where you're into that spiritual area, where you're down alone with the Most High, and the Most High, he gives you that good dream, or you're stuck in that nightmare. But then in the second judgment, that's where the true destruction is. So let's go to Matthew 10 and 28 to understand what I'm saying. Because anytime you die, you do get a minor judgment. And I'll prove that. Before you get Matthew's 28, let's go to Hebrews 9 and 27. Hebrews to understand. So it's like the order of death is after you die, your body goes into decay, and your spirit, for the righteous and wicked, get two different orders. The righteous, they get carried up, they fly away with the help of the angels, and they have a dialogue with the Most High, and he sends them to rest. And when he sends them to rest, they're in this one of the best rests possible with the highest ecstasy. And when I say ecstasy, the feel good method, they feeling the best and things like that. And as for the wicked, they go to rest too, to a whole place where they have this nightmare. So they're in a nightmare too. So they're viewing this and they're dealing with the Most High in this area. So they're in this dark place, and they're there for a reason. Read Hebrews 9 and 27.
Hebrews 9:27.
Mm-hmm.
And as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this the judgment.
After this the judgment. That's the first two judgments right there, where they die and they just go to be with the Most High, or one go into that dark place. Now, how long they're there, we don't know. We don't know, meaning how long they're stuck in that dream, how long they're going to be dreaming, we don't know. They know that after they die, they're going to all be brought back into the second resurrection, but we don't know as far as how long they're going to be in a dream. We understand through the near-death experience, many people don't want to go and relive that dream, but how long that dream is, where their conscience is going to be there, and what constantly goes on, we only know bits and pieces from the near-death experience and from what the Bible have said. But like Uriel, the angel, said, don't worry about how the wicked is being tormented. Worry about how the righteous is being saved. So that's the main thing to worry about. But now, let's go to Matthew 10:28 to understand what's going on here, because this is because a lot of people, they're trying to say, oh, when you die and you're evil, you go to hell. No, you don't. You have that, you go into that vision area where the Most High dialogues with you. That's also can be considered the torment. Matthew 10 and 28.
Matthew 10:28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul.
So it says, fear them which are able to fear not them that which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. Keep going.
But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
Yes, fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Which hell is this talking about? Because this can't be talking about, like, according to the Catholics, when you die, you go straight to the lake of fire and you just burn forever. But according to the scriptures, when you die and you're an evil person, you go into this nightmare known as the torments, and it doesn't exactly tell you the duration of it. That's the thing, and we don't know, like, we only know bits and pieces what goes on down there, but we know it's there for a reason. It's for the wicked. But as in here, the body and soul in hell only happens in one place. Because remember, your body isn't going to be just destroyed. Your body stays on earth and your soul separates. But it says silent body and soul in hell. So it's talking about the lake of fire. Because after your second resurrection, then it's time for the judgment. Then the lake of fire. Then your body and soul will be destroyed if you're wicked. Revelations 21 and 8 to show you that. Because people, they get confused. Like, okay, when you die, you gonna get burned forever. No. When you die and you're a wicked person, you go to an area to rest until your resurrection. But what happens when you sleep? You dream, and that dream isn't a good dream. It's based on how the Most High wants to deal with you, and you're there in that dream you're just stuck in that dream. So Revelations 21 and 8.
Revelations 21 verse 8. But the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
Which is the second death. So all these fearful, unbelieving people and all that, they will have their part in the lake of fire. So that's the area where it says body and soul being destroyed in hell. That's the lake of fire. That's the second death. That's after everybody is brought back to live again and everything, and they still want to act evil. Then the Most High, he can't work with you now, because now you're disobeying Christ on the scene where he's there. Yes, when wicked are resurrected, they see Christ on earth, and he's teaching the people, and he's teaching them, and they don't want to listen to him. So if they can't listen to Christ where he's there, then what good are they? When the Most High makes a new heaven and a new earth, he's going to have to just destroy them, and they go to the lake of fire. So that's the part. So it seems like in the near-death experiences, they're like the evil ones, evil people that die, they're stuck in a nightmare, and the righteous ones, They're stuck in that good dream of rest, as both of them wait for their resurrection, like it says in Daniel's. And with that, that concludes the class of the near-death experience.
Thank you for watching our Bible study video, and remember there is only one way to get to heaven, and that's by our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ of Nazareth. May the grace of the Lord be with you all.